Welcome back to Eye on South Asia. Exuding unflinching patriotism, an Indian American has created the world's largest tricolor Indian national flag weighing 250 kgs as a symbol of peace and harmony to the country.
And Suman, this flag, which is the tricolor of India, is 153 feet by 102 feet. And it's already made it to the Limca Book of Records in April this year, and is created by a gentleman who is essentially an entertainment businessman. And Monty Saeed, as his name is, Monty Saeed is a Chicago-based individual, and this was his dream to put it together. And he created it, and now he's unfolding this on a 2-day Vibrant India event to be held in Chicago in July 16th and 17th, where there'll be performances by Bollywood actors and singers. And in his message he says, you know, when he was asked, why did you create this flag? We already have flags, and what is so unique
about it
that he said this is just a message, because with the way this flag stands up for today, it's a message for peace and unity. And this is an occasion for unity where everybody should stand together and support the cause of the flag and take the honor of it.
Right, Sunil. About 7 workers worked on this flag to make this so big. So I think it's another unique thing, and how this shows how Indians are so patriotic towards their country, towards their symbols, towards their national identities. So I think it's something which needs to be
even
mentioned
though, Suman,
here.
this flag, if you look at it emotionally about it, if the flag was created by 7 people, but the flag which stands up as the sovereignty of India and India's independence was probably millions and millions of people who created it when it was in 1947.
Right.
And I think he's timing very well with the Independence Day, which is coming up in August, right after July.
Correct.
I think it's very timely, such small actions by individuals from our community continuously brings back their love and their affection towards their country and express their patriotism.
Certainly, Sunil. With this, let's move on to our next story. And the story which we will be discussing now is kind of intriguing. At the same time, it's interesting to understand how the story has taken place. Manhattan College is revamping its Holocaust Center to include the further study of other genocides as well as interfaith activities that would include Islam, alongside Judaism and Christianity, the 2 religions that until now have been mostly alone at the core of Holocaust interfaith issues. Perhaps what we need to understand here is, and the point to be noted here is, that nothing accentuates the change more than the appointment of Mehnaz Afridi, who's 40 years old, to be the director of what will be renamed the Holocaust, Genocide and Interfaith Education Center.
And Suman, Afridi is essentially a Pakistani born and is a Muslim woman.
That's right.
And
that's what it makes it more interesting.
Exactly. You know, you are talking of 2 extreme ends coming together to serve for a cause which is for all these decades have been denied.
Right.
While the numbers say that there were 6 million people who lost their lives in this Holocaust, and the opponents say, no, it was just 2 million, not that 2 million is small enough. And Afridi, who has written her book, she is waiting for her first book, it's called The Shoah Through Muslim Eyes. The book which Afridi told recently to the Jewish Week is actually grown out of her frustration to put the facts right. And you know, Afridi was born as a Muslim, but not as an Arab. She's widely traveled. She's the daughter of an international banker who moved from Pakistan to Switzerland to Luxembourg to Dubai, and then she studied in Westchester in the New York, in the Scarsdale area. And she graduated from University of Syracuse. And she says, for some reason, my interest in the Holocaust truly began when I was teaching assistant for a post-Holocaust undergraduate course. And then, you know, she went on to earn her doctorate in the religious studies at the University of South Africa. You look at a person who is essentially, she's a modern Muslim girl.
Right.
And she sees life when she looks backward, kind of a mark on the community from a different point of view, and she wants to settle it forever.
So are we saying that she thinks rationally?
She is. Certainly she is a rational person. She has full belief in her religion, but at the same time she's got a tremendous faith in other religions as well. That's why she's taken a very controversial issue and the Manhattan College has made her the director.
That's right.
In fact, I'll tell you, she has had her grooming under a very eminent personality, and his name is Mr. Barenbaum, and he said, now think about it, here is a Pakistan-born Muslim lady, she got her grooming under Mr. Barenbaum, and he says she is sterling human being and I respect her as a scholar. She's been a guest together with her husband to my Shabbat table, now eating together. Additionally, she's an important voice of Islam, but with moderation.
With this, again, it comes down, let's wish her all the best.
Certainly.
Let's move on to our next story. And Pratham USA, which is again a non-profit organization, it has received a $250,000 grant from Deloitte Touche and Tomahatsu Limited to develop residential vocational training centers for older Indian girls who have dropped out very early from schools.
Suman, it's so unfortunate back home when you look at it, even though we claim to be one of the most educated society with large number of growing educated young Indians, it is so ironical that 75% of the boys are educated and not more than 25% of the girls are educated because they drop out. Most of the time it's at the 4th grade or 5th grade, or at the most at the primary level. The parents do not want their daughters to go out farther away from home because they're insecure or whatever the reasons are. And the other side is the child labor, or to go and make a fast buck. They can engage them in domestic help, make some money from them. I think Pratham has been a leading non-profit organization in last at least 20 years that I have seen it in the forefront, and it's high time the corporate America, in this case Deloitte, who have a huge base in Hyderabad from where some of these institutions they are building, these will be operating, have given this grant to Pratham. I think this is a great cause.
And soon, Sunil, this will be known as Pratham Deloitte Achievement Centers.
Yeah, the Pratham, right now they call them Pratham Achievement Centers, and with this grant they'll be called Pratham Deloitte Achievement Centers. And they will offer practical skills to young women such as cosmetology, sewing, embroidery, computer training, hospitality. And Sangeeta Kara, who is the Pratham's vice president, she said she's excited now when she's got this kind of funding, because it's not very easy, for these organizations to raise money. They keep on doing different events and raise 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. But I think this is probably the second time when Pratham has received a good grant from a corporate. And you may want to touch on these centers, how they'll be, housing these girls and where they're coming up.
Certainly, Sunil. Each center will house up to 50 girls and equip them with life skills such as the etiquette of working within a company. The girls will also learn English and teaching skills so that they can take back to the villages to train the other youth.
And they will train the students as teachers, consult the management in the management of each center. Actually, they are having their hands into it. They're not just giving you a fat check and saying go and spend it.
Right.
They want to be part of it, and they have, I think, a longer plan. If they do it right, they will develop more centers. And what will happen is, as Karas said, girls drop out of school because of their parents don't want to send them schools at a distance. So what they're doing is, they are building these schools very close to, I think it's Hyderabad and two near Mumbai. These are, highly populated cities which have its own pluses and minuses. So they are building 2 centers near Bombay and 1 near Hyderabad, which will not be that far, so that children will not have to really travel far, which is the first point they are not sent to school. And Suman, like Karas says, the outlook for these women is not good at all. As she said, these slum girls who drop out of schools are sometimes forced into prostitution.
That's right.
So with this education, with this grooming and the confidence instilled in them, they obviously can go and look for a career.
Certainly, Sunil, and corporates like Deloitte, they can give grants as it's their responsibility and duty towards the corporate responsibility they have to serve for the various organizations, and that's a great way. And this is their Deloitte 21 challenge, as they call, for which they have given the grant to.
Sure.
Sunil, with this, let's move on to our next story, and let's talk about art, entertainment, and culture, which is happening in New York, and that's how New York is known for.
Now, this is about the the Mahakumbh, which was held in from January to February 2001, and millions of pilgrims who assembled in Allahabad. The photographer Hans Schmidt was there, and to capture the beauty of every event next to the sacred Ganges River, capturing their massive act on the film, both still and he actually did the moving film also. And I think this is being captured and presented at the Rubin Museum.
That's right. So this is Sunil, something to look forward for, and all the art lovers and the culture lovers would definitely go and watch this exhibition and whatever is being showcased there. Apart from that, Sunil, I wanted to ask you that this Kumbh Mela, after how long does it take place? I just want to recall and revive back.
That's a good question. I'm not getting into this quiz, but probably I think it's after every 10 years.
I guess so, 10 to 12 years.
10. It has. Then there is something called Ardha Kumbh, and there is a called Kumbh Mela.
That's right.
Well, sometimes my
because that's what I've been hearing in the Bollywood stories, old stories and news, the films which we talked about, that two brothers they kind of separated the Kumbh Melas and stuff.
But this is a very unique event that I see that Rubin Museum, which in last I think 6 or 7 years since it was built by the couple, who have tried to showcase a lot of Indian culture.
Right.
Sometimes this is a festival of food, sometimes it's a art exhibition. I think they have done some movie festivals and supporting outside the Rubin Museum, the Sikh Arts film festival, which is here happening every year. I think it's worth a watch, and we must go and check it out this week.
Sunil, we've talked politics, we've talked organizations, the leading Indian organizations, what they are doing. We've talked about arts in this news stories for this week. Let's talk about entertainment. And Shaan, who's one of the most popular voices behind various songs in Bollywood, is visiting New York and New Jersey and has been performing here throughout.
Shaan is not just the popular voice, it seems that he is the most popular guy. And I just happened to be taking the family yesterday to the event at the Colon Center in New York, and then I had also followed with the promoters in New Jersey. I believe he is the new prince. I mean, he stormed the two concerts, and he had, I think, more than 2,000 people, audiences, and this is an audience which is almost pan-Indian. You have Bengalis, obviously, then you have Gujaratis, you have Punjabis, you have Caribbean, all kinds of people from every generation, and they loved his songs. I think that Om Shanti Om, and then Amir Khan's movie, that famous song, every song now he has sung also for Ranbir Kapoor. This guy is not stopping, and I think the NRI community is looking for real entertainment, because we have been missing this big concert that used to happen, star concerts every year, twice a year, and this year we haven't really had much. And also we have seen normally the same names and faces come again and again, year after year. This is the first time. I think Shaan has really done a concert series all over US and Canada. He came in a few years ago, which was a very mild trip just to check it out. But this time he has come with another two sensational singers. One is Aishwarya Majmudar. This girl is absolutely phenomenal. Even Lata Mangeshkar ji and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, who judged her on one of the programs on ZTV as a overall winner, she was clearly now called the new Lata Mangeshkar of Indian singing. And then they had this guy Shadab. Between three of them, it was not stopping. If it was 9:30, they would not be stopping.
Right.
And one of the things Shaan created, he came in one of the acts of medley from behind the auditorium and inside the audience. You should just seen it, what went on.
Well, Sunil, we need to talk about Shaan. I think he is one person whom we can keep on talking about, because he's got such wonderful songs to his credit, as well as the voice he takes in. And you mentioned the live performance he did. I think it's incredible. Sunil, at this point, we can keep talking about Shaan because he's such an incredible singer. But right now, it's time to say goodbye to our viewers. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel, same show. And if you've missed this episode, you can watch us on YouTube, because worldwide. This is me, Sumandeep Kaur, signing off.
Sunil Hali sitting in for Sujit Rajan, who is on assignment out of town, and he should be back soon.
Take care and goodbye.
Goodbye.